Hey, it's Eric with HoosierCycles. I am prepping for a swap meet next week, so I put this thing together, a display stand for my parts, the small parts, for the swap meet. In the past, I've just used tables. I've built similar displays and just recycled them. They're just made of scrap bike parts. And this time I thought I'd put something together kind of nice, because I think I'm going to do like 3 this next end of the year here, plus the beginning of next 2026 hopefully. So I'm just going to go through what I do for prepping for swap meet, and also give you some maybe some advice. I've done a few of them over the years and had success, and you might not think some of the stuff you put out will sell, or people don't want it, or it's too common. But I'm finding the common stuff, at least the stuff I do, is not so common anymore. So we'll go through the setup, what I do, and this is just a good thing to do, so you're not trying to do it when you get there. You have an idea what you're trying to set up, or what fits. Sometimes your constraint is, a 10 by 10 parking space, or you have a 10, 2 of them, and then you're not sure, well, how am I going to display it? And then you spend the morning trying to set up, and you're wasting time while customers are coming up to you, or people are looking at your stuff, and you're just not prepared. Just a little more professional way to attack it, and also you'll get more people just walking up looking at your display than maybe buying a part, or it might attract them to come look at your stuff. You just don't have that blanket laid on the ground and a bunch of random stuff. But if you've got it displayed and they can see it, especially from a distance, you'd be surprised how many people just want to come up to look at your display, and then something catches their eye, or it strikes up a conversation and it leads to maybe a sale of something else. Okay, so I'm going to pull out some stuff. I'm going to hang on this and kind of show you what I do, and maybe gives you some idea what you can do in the future for even a garage sale, or even maybe it'll spur you to go do a swap meet. You don't have to have high-end stuff at a swap meet. It's mainly fellowship with fellow bike enthusiasts like yourself that want to just talk and share what they have. And you're not going to get rich out of this, but it's a way to unload some of your parts, or find something else, or swap something too. Well, here's the display loaded up. I still have a lot more to do. It just started out with 2 wheels welded together, and then I took another 20-inch wheel and cut it in half, and then stuck it on the ends, give it a little bit of symmetrical, I don't know what artsy looking stuff there. And then the bottom is just welded up 20-inch BMX frames with the centers cut out of them, or the lower down tube cut out, and half of it was used on that side for bracing, and this side just a women's 26-inch frame. And then the taller part here is just a fork with a nut welded on, and then actually full-size 26-inch wheel that is the axle is just threaded on at the axle nut. And then this actually spins around and holds pedals, whatever else you want to hang up and attract. So from a distance, why this is out catching the sun, it attracts people. They actually want to come over and look at your stuff, because there's not too many of these out when you go to swap meets. Usually it's a table setup, or it's a blanket, blue tarp thrown on the ground. So I like getting this stuff up. This is one, I haven't done one this tall before. I've done shorter ones. So this is a little bit bigger than what I've done in the past. And it actually is pretty sturdy. I'm not worried about somebody coming up on it and hurting themselves. I am mindful when I do get done with this is run a grinder around, make sure there's no jagged edges, and nobody's going to get hurt. Kids are at these events, and if they are, like this right here might be a tripping hazard, I just throw a wheel on it, and that way nobody's going to trip over it and hurt themselves. I do try to price everything out beforehand. This is why it's good to do a quick dry run and kind of price your stuff out. I also clean it. I got a bucket of water here, some soap, and some degreaser over on this one. So if I got any real greasy part that gets my dirty, I'll degrease it and put it, make it, so it's handleable. You can use it, you can pick it up and look at it. I like to use buckets for handlebars. They're great for forks and other long items that don't like to, that take up room laying down. I use a stanchion here for a sign, and have a QR code for my YouTube channel, and I've just got wheels stacked over here. I'm not trying to get rich off these. I'm just trying to pass them on to another hobbyist that might need a part off here. I just don't use these older wheel sets, so somebody could probably use them. The hooks are just spokes that I've saved, and I've got more that I'll bring with me. A pair of pliers to bend them if I need them. I've got tags so I can price stuff out, and you just don't know what you're going to sell. When I've been to so many swap meets, I've had people ask for kickstands, and I was thinking, why would anybody want to buy a kickstand? But I have kickstands now because I've been asked about those in the past. Seat post clamps, I had those now that I normally would not have. Just knick-knacky stuff. All these accessories I pulled off bikes that I've pulled, parted out. The kids like a bell maybe, and the parents will buy them a bell and charge them 50 cents for them. You got road people, so I've got road gloves here. These are old school, and they're actually in really great shape. I found them in a bag that I got a bike and parted out, so they're actually really clean. The pants thing for your pant leg, got a couple of those. Seats, pedals are always good. Chain rings are always just nice for display because they catch the sun. So you never know who's at these swap meets. You got roadies, you got mountain bike people, you got BMX people, and we all cross over because I like doing cruiser bikes, and also I like the BMX stuff, so I have some BMX stuff here and some old school stuff that might be useful to somebody. So hopefully this helps you out. If you're thinking about doing a swap meet of some sort, and you're not sure what to do, or maybe how I should display. Well, I know welders, they're not cheap, but mine I bought for I think at Harbor Freight for $170, and it's just a flux, what do they call those, it's a non-gas arc welder, just a wire feed, but it does fine for this type of work. And I don't even have to really clean the metal up. I just go ahead and buzz it until it gets a bite, and then you just you can't weld, just keep doing more and more. And I do, like I said, I've just gone through and I make sure there's nothing jagged on them, and it's strong. So this dry run now tells me, well, what can I take and what can I fit on here? I can price it out, I can clean it, and also I'm not filling with stuff in the morning at a swap meet trying to set up. I just throw it up on the table, or I've got the hooks all ready to go, and I've made it so it could be handled by one person, and it fits in the truck for me to transport. All right, so this will be up next weekend, so I'll have another video on it showing the swap meet at Burley. All right, we'll check you out on next week.